to another breakout session. This is breakout session number 14. This is called Double Stops from Rock to Soul. So we're going to go back today and pick up on breakout session number 12, where it was Plays Nice with Others, and also breakout session number 13, where we talked about playing with thirds and sixth intervals. And we're going to show you how you can use that in songs and how other people do it. And also we might throw some fourths in there, which is another double stop. You know, a double stop is like any two notes played at the same time on two different strings. So to make it simple, that's a double stop. So we're going to work on that today. As usual, when I get started, I like to say hi to all the members of the Guitar League out there that might be watching around the country. And again, I would ask, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe and hit the little bell, and we'll give you a notification when we put these up. Guitar League's been nice enough to put a lot of these breakout sessions on their national website, and that's great. And you can also find these on Rumble if you like. If you go there, I think it's under AZ Blues Guy. You can find me there. So okay, so let's get going. I'm going to show some examples today of double stops that you can play over rock progressions, soul progressions, blues progressions, country. You can do them pretty much anywhere. And we're going to go from progressions that are like 2-chord progressions to maybe 8-chord stuff and show you how to use it. With 2 chords, it's interesting because you can do a lot of fill to make it sound like there's a whole lot more going on than just having 2 chords. So we're going to start with that. You know, a lot of guitar players use double stops, but you know, Steve Cropper is a pretty famous guy that made a living using those, and Cornell Dupree, and also Mark Knopfler's another big double stop kind of guy. So we'll show that as we go along. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be a little more laid back. Okay, so let's start with a rock song. And I don't want to mention any names of the song or the group that does it because I don't want any copyright strikes, but you're going to hear, I think in the chord progression, you can hear, you'll figure out what the song is. So there's a B minor, there's an F sharp, there's an A, an E, a G, a D, an E minor, and an F sharp. So while somebody's playing those chords, you can play sixths over those. If you go back to breakout session number 13 and you look at that again, you should be able to play all these songs with sixths all over the place. So when the person's playing the B minor, you can come up here. This represents a B minor. You're on B. That's the F sharp, the A, the E, the G, the F, the D, the E minor, back to F sharp. So one more time, right here. Okay, so, okay, I did a little intro, I did a little Sultans of Swing when we came into this, and in Mark Knopfler, we talked about a couple of things. You know, we talked about sixth thirds, we also talked about filling in, playing different things than other band members and Plays Nice with Others. So, for instance, Mark Knopfler does a lot of just little 3-note chords and stuff, But there's, in that Sultans of Swing, for instance, there's double stops, which are technically fourths. Then he does the sixth. This is probably thirds. Back to sixth. Whoop. So he's using a lot of sixths, fourths, double stops, small little chords that he plays rather than the big ones. And a lot of the licks that he gets are right out of those little 3-note chords. That's right out of that 3-chord D minor. Okay, then you got soul songs. Cornell Dupree is a very famous studio musician. He's probably been on 2,000 songs. Okay, for instance, one of them was "Rainy Night in Georgia." Okay, and in that, like in the intros, he's using fourths, which mixed up with sixths. So fourths, again, we're doing double stops, 2 notes on different strings. So if you go on the bottom 2 strings, then you've got a fourth. Let's say you've got an E and an A here, or a D and a G. That's a fourth from D to G. Notice that that's used a lot in soul. Fourths. Also in soul, or kind of a soul bluesy rocky thing, you've got Steve Cropper, he made a living using double stops and sixths, like in Soul Man. He actually plays those little chords. He's playing like a G, another G, and an A minor, back to G in that whole thing. But it's actually easier for me to bar the whole thing, but I'm not playing the whole bar. I'm just playing the notes at the bottom strings, the high strings. And that finger thing, by the way, I learned from watching Cornell Dupree. He talks about that when he's trying to get the fast move. He's just wagging his little finger. So soul, double stops in soul. That's all 6. And if you watched Breakout Session 13, you know all of those 6. And next we could try a little 2-chord blues song, like I'd Rather Go Blind by Etta James. There's an A and a B minor, and it's in 6/8 time. But we'll try to play along with it, and we're going to use some thirds and some 6. So let's see how this goes. We'll play a little backing track with this one and see if we can play along with it. A shape. This is also an A up here, but this can be a B minor. So it fits right in perfectly. A, B minor. We go, this is part of an A up here. So that's why that all works good. And then we did some thirds. Right out of the little two notes in A. The little third bars we showed you. These are shapes. So little two-note chords. And we're going to do some country stuff next, so we'll probably do it in A, like a 1-4-5 blues progression, and show some country sixths and thirds. Okay, just to recap what we've learned, in breakout session number 13, we talked about different angles to play sixths. We talked about 45 angles and 90-degree angles. So if you go back, you'll see that. So we can play sixths on the first string and the third string with the root on the first string on the E string. So you play an E and a G string. And if you started there, you'd start in F. That would be G, A, etc. Then if you played the same thing on the B and D string with the root on the B string, now you're starting with C, D, E, etc. all the way up. And thirds, we use the same angles. We used 90-degree and 45 angles, only in a different sequence. So to start in A, let's go to like part of an A chord. So you're playing the G string and the B string, and now the root is on the G string. So that's an A. That would be a C all the way up here. D, etc. So wherever your two fingers start, this would be a B flat, etc. So you have enough. I'm going to put the little charts back up there for you from last one. So you have enough stuff now to play with this stuff and to practice with it. So we're going to play out with a little A, kind of a country shuffle. So you've got enough in A. So there's an A in thirds right here. There's an A in sixths right here. There's an A in sixths right here. You could go back to thirds if your guitar goes that far. Then there's a D. Then there'd be an E. Or there could be a D and an E and an A. So those are the three chords we're going to deal with. So we're going to play out, and I'll kind of call the chords the first time around, see if you can play with it. And don't forget to subscribe so we can tell you when the next breakout session's coming. So we're going to see you in the next breakout session. Let's see. Let's start in A. D. A. E. Back to A. A. A, D, E, A, E, A,